One with 8 legs wandering around.
They're a scorpion.
Yeah, some sort of.
Okay, you guys should be able to hear me now, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
we enjoyed being outside last weekend so much we decided we would do it again. Actually, what's basically now that it's not Columbus Day, it's Indigenous Peoples Day, I guess. They're closed. We've been here for this event for this holiday before, and we've been in, but they've closed the place. They're not going to let us in. So we're going to do a quick meeting out here, just go over a few updates. Should be a quick meeting tonight. We've got a pretty good number of people here. We're all enjoying the nice weather. You guys are missing out. And you're going to have to speak up really loud if you got something to say, because we're just on my little speaker on my computer. So yell if you got something, or chat. That might be easy as well. We'll go ahead and get started. Welcome to the October 2024 members meeting. Are you guys seeing that screen? Okay. Members meeting of UROC. I'm not sure how many new members we have on tonight, so we're just going to go ahead and go through these as we go. Our officers, as usual, are myself. I'm Neil Baker. Jason Farnsworth over there is our vice pres. Ben Cook is our secretary. Rob Hanson is our treasurer. I'm acting prefect, and Brad Overmo, Rich Evans, and Kip Dargadas are our TAP members here at UROC. I don't know if any of them are on today or not. And then Jed Marty is our NAR advisor as well. He's here. Quick mention, elections are coming up next month. So if you're interested in helping make a difference to the club so you don't end up having lame meetings outside, stuff like that, now's the time to think about throwing your hat in the ring. We'll go through that a little bit more as we go. Let's see. Tripoli updates. This balls event last month, there was when Dave Rose left for the Playa 2 days before the event, there was 325 people registered for the event. I think they registered another 100 and something out there. It was over 400 flyers at balls this year. Far and away the largest balls they've ever had. It went pretty well. Everything went pretty well except the really large projects. Those mostly didn't go very well. There was a lot of destruction and chaos. But overall, it was a good launch. I don't think anybody got hurt. And they cleaned up their mess well.
There were a couple of close calls.
There was a couple of close calls. Yep, there was some. The great big one came in right behind the flight line, pretty close to some people. But
Yeah.
luckily, nobody got hurt. That's what matters. Let's see. Tripoli, Central California is going to be our host for LERS 43 next year. And it's early in the year. It's May 15th through the 18th. I would strongly urge anybody that's considering it to think about going out. It should be a great launch. All the guys at TCC are really nice guys, and they put on a really good launch. So it's a good one to see. It's Derriere. It's in
It's close to Fresno.
yeah. It's a dairy farm. Yeah. And I think 16,000 feet. Of course, it's California, so you're kind of limited on motors.
The host hotel looks really nice.
Yes, it's a
On
casino.
reservation.
It's a casino. And then just to mention, for those of you that didn't know, we have a new Tripoli Motor Testing Committee chairman. After Alan passed away about 2 months ago, Art Hogue. I think a lot of you know Art. He used to come to Hellfire every year from Colorado, and he used to fly when he was, I don't know. I can't really show you on the camera, very small, and done a lot of his big projects out on the salt with us. He's a great guy, and he's going to be taking over that. I think he'll do an excellent job as new testing chairman. Jed, this is NAR stuff. I've got the NSL 2024 is going to be in November in Nashville, Georgia. And I've got NARCon 2025 will be primarily an R&D competition this year. That's all I have. What else do you have? Anything from NAR?
There's some contest changes. Double D Egg Loft, I think is one of them.
Double D egg loft?
Yeah.
Wow.
Cluster stage.
Yeah. Cluster means. Other than that, it's somebody's building a Saturn V. I'm not sure how big, and doing videos of it.
1-to-1 size, real life size. That's
Lots of D's.
yeah, and it's all going to be flying on black powder motors.
It'll be
Okay.
impressive.
Yeah. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
That's about it. It's been pretty weak.
Okay. The UROC outreach program. So I talked to David today. He couldn't be here tonight, but we do have a STEM event coming up at Taylorsville Elementary on October 24th, and that's from 5:30 to 7:30. And he could probably use one more person to help him with it. I think it's just a static display. I don't believe we're flying anything there. Be too dark at this point. But if you're interested, you can reach out to David directly or let me know and I'll get you in touch with him. See how fast we're moving through this stuff? When things like, oh, I don't know, buildings and video and stuff don't come into the picture. UFO 2024 is postponed for now. I don't think I have any more updates. Bruce Bell, are you on? Okay, we'll get some updates from him on timing on that if we're going to retry that this year. Then we'll just go over your nuts. 2024. We had 58 registered flyers. We did have one Q motor fly. We had one space shot attempt and a lot of other big projects. I will say most of the really big projects were not UROC members. In fact, none of them were. We had some really big projects: New Mexico, Australia, and Omaha, Nebraska. And they were all pretty successful for the most part. There's some really good flights. I thought I would.
And a hot tub.
Oh yeah, we had the hot tub out there. If you've been to balls, you know about the hot tub. It's Steve the hot tub guy, right? And they come out.
Scuba Steve.
Oh, it's hot tub
Hot
Steve.
tub Steve.
Yeah. He brought his whole company out, and they do that at balls every year. So they bring a great big flatbed trailer with a hot tub and all the water for it, and a couple of big smokers on it, and then
Diesel generator.
and a diesel generator, which Jim Yale I really appreciated. And they were in the hot tub most of the weekend when it was nighttime, and looked like it was pretty comfortable. I didn't go in it. That layer of silt on the top, no.
Sure. Silt.
Yeah, it might have, I don't know. Let's see. Okay. I have some pictures from that, but we'll go through those after this, get the business out of the way while we can still see what we're doing out here. Of course, we had the Your Nuts launch. The UFO 2024 has been postponed or canceled. We'll get more info on that. At this point, the October 19th launch looks like it's a go. We will confirm that on Wednesday of this week once we've confirmed that we are okay on the fire restrictions and okay on the weather. That's just our standard processes. Do that the Wednesday before the event. So watch the website. We'll also send out an email. And then we've got another members meeting, hopefully a sport launch on the 16th. I mean, if it's not out of place now, we got to have the fire restriction gone by November, I would think, And then we've got the holiday blast, which is to be announced as far as where that's going to be, but that will be coming up. That's usually pretty fun to attend as well. And let's see, what else did I have on here? Oh, rocketry news. There were 3 liquid motor demonstrations at Balls this year. And I believe 2 of them worked. All of them were safe. And they are going to investigate and investigate that a little bit more, get more information on that, and possibly open up that portion of AAA to the liquid motor demonstrations. That doesn't mean it's safe to go out and do any of this yet.
College teams,
What's that?
those college projects.
No, some were private, some were college. I don't have all the details. I think there a report's being written up by AAA on that right now. We mentioned the 2440 hardware issue. Oh, Aerotech just got certification of their largest motor they've ever sold, which is an 6000 White Lightning. And they didn't give a price, but I did notice, just out of curiosity, there is a sale at Chris's Rocket Supplies for a Cicerone 8000, and it's only $8,000.01.
I've looked at that.
Yeah.
I'll order 2.
So if you're interested, there's your next big project. I want to know if Chris has really got one of those sitting in his shop. He might. Oh, and then we'll play this real quick. This was today. See if it works. Let me see if I can share that.
You have to make sure you click share sound.
Okay. See right here,
Check share sound right there on
share sound.
and then hit share video.
Okay, try this. You guys seeing that?
Yes.
Like fall.
Going to, for sure.
Hey, we have a community spotlight now on the Utah Rocket Club, UROC, right? President Neil Baker here with us and brought a few samples.
Yeah, you sure did. I guess all these have taken flight at one time or another, right?
They have,
Yeah.
and we've just brought a little assortment, but this is anything from, this is what most people are used to seeing, are these smaller model rockets you pick up at the hobby stores. And this is a little larger. We just kind of go up the scale
Holy cow.
from there.
Yeah, that's a little larger.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is Elon Musk style rockets.
there you go, yeah. These don't land as well, but.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about rocketry. Are there a lot of people involved in it?
There is actually.
Yeah.
So there's in Utah, the Utah Rocket Club has been around for about 30 years. We have just around 200 members at any time, and it usually is what we'll see parents bringing their kids in that are interested in STEM and in school or in rocketry in school. And then we have a lot of older folks that come back into it that did it when they were kids.
Yeah.
Which we call born again rocketeers.
You go out to the desert, right?
Yes. Now we
The salt flats?
we used to do the salt flats. Unfortunately, the airport has gotten so busy that we can't get permission there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you guys have different, I guess, classifications on how high you can launch these things. So tell us about that and how you get registered.
Well, for example, we have a launch site that we use pretty much monthly, assuming the fire restrictions let us out in the West Desert, and we have to have permission from the FAA. We apply for a waiver that allows us to use that piece of land for that. Our site out in the West Desert, we have a 10,000 foot waiver, so that allows us to fly up to 10,000 feet. All the aircraft in the area are notified that we're in the area and operating at that time. If we want to go higher than that, we have to go different locations. For example, we just got back from a trip out to the Black Rock Desert in Nevada, which we had basically 350,000 feet. And we did have a couple of guys try that.
Really? You can fly these things out high.
Yeah.
This isn't
Wow.
just Boy Scouts
No.
setting
no,
off little
although
bottle
it's not.
rockets. How do
No.
you get into
Yeah.
this science? I mean, this is really into the sport.
It can be as simple as, buying one of these little tiny model rockets. But as you grow and get up into the larger and larger motors, and there's more and more science involved, you start making your own rocket motors. You can build the electronics to go with it, the deployment tools, everything
Is that would that be this one or?
That's this is actually that's just a slightly larger motor that uses that this would use. This would
Okay.
actually use 3 of those. This is just even a little larger, and then this uses one larger. And I have a motor at home that's about this tall and about this big around.
Oh my gosh.
I just didn't want to bring it with me.
So have you put one up 350,000 feet before?
I have not.
Okay.
We just out in the Black Rock, we had one go 160,000.
Wow.
Yeah. What's the cost getting involved in a hobby like this?
The hobby, on the model rocket side, the smaller rockets, it's $35, $40. You can get a complete set. If you just buy the rocket and some motors, you're probably in at $20, $25. Bring it out to a UROC launch and fly with us. You don't need to have your own launch pads.
Watch the big guys.
Yeah.
The sky's the limit on bigger stuff.
Oh yeah. And are you guys rocket scientists? I mean, some of you guys.
Some
is
of
it just a
some
hobby?
of the members are. I'm an IT guy, but we have we have everybody from. We have some doctors. We have some mechanical engineers. We have pharmacists. It's just all across the board.
Oh, sure.
But almost everybody had some kind of an interest or love in the space race back in the years.
So do you have to have individual certification to fly any of these? You talk about the group and where you can go.
Yes. So we have there's 2 national organizations, and we are associated with both of those, and they both have certification programs, 1, 2, and 3. But as you complete each level, you can fly larger and larger rockets. So right off the bat, you don't really need any certification for that, just parental guidance.
How high will this one go?
Oh, 2,000 feet.
Wow.
Huh?
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
What a fun group. And you have a meeting tonight. That's what caught our attention.
We-
You have
we do.
It's just a regular meeting, right?
It's just a regular meeting. They're not super exciting. Most of it is a bunch of nerds talking about rocket stuff. And some.
Well, I
some
can't think of anything better.
Well, there you go.
Better than our meetings.
You're welcome again.
And what's the website so people can check it out and maybe get involved?
It's a good, easy website. UROC, UROC.org. UROC.org.
uroc.org. Right
Yep.
there, we've got the website pulled up, so
Perfect,
that's what you
that's
can.
Utah
Check
Rocket
out.
Club. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Happy flying. And,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Arc Salt Lake, where we
Now let me turn this off. Hang on. Ah. Okay. You guys see me again now? Sorry. All right. And then I was going to show a bunch of pictures from your nuts. We'll try that. But before we go and do that, does anybody have any questions or comments or things they'd like to share tonight? Floor is open.
You have status on the Cedar City?
I have not heard an update. I checked when I got back to see how long it had been since I talked to him. It had been 3 weeks. So I sent him an email today saying, hey, it's been 3 weeks. Just to let everybody know, if you're on the Facebook site, you've probably seen Joe Hill mention a new launch site he's putting together down near Cedar. That is one option we're hoping to be able to take advantage of. We're also working on a launch site down there as well. We'll keep you posted on more information once we have it. Until I get the okays from FAA, BLM, stuff like that, we don't really want to share a lot, but there is possibly another site down that way. We'll keep you posted as soon as anything goes on that. Yeah.
You said there's some restrictions in California on motor size. What's
Yes.
that?
Well, you can't use anything over an M,
You can use up to an M.
up to an M, commercial. And I don't know on the experimental stuff. I need to look.
I know that there's something I don't remember.
Yeah. I'd have to look.
You have to have a special.
Well, far
Standard
launch.
chamber.
Yeah, but FAR has an exclusion of some kind. Anywhere else, like when we were at LDRS, so thing I can afford. It's more than I can afford. So, internet connection is unstable. All right. Are you guys still seeing us okay? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I'll put a link to the article or to the video up. But just so you know, that happened this morning. They called me Thursday, late afternoon, Thursday, and said, "Hey, can you be on TV Monday morning?" So,
Cool.
I think it went okay. Yeah, it was fine. Let's see. See if anybody's got any questions. Okay. The last thing I just wanted to mention, I think we've got, our next month is going to be when we do our elections for 2025. Right now, you have myself, you have Jason Farnsworth, Ben Cook, and Robert Hansen are the current officers. I will not be running for president next year. I've got some things that have just come up and I just can't do it. However, I think everybody that's in the officer position now is considering taking a step forward, but we'll see. If you're interested, though, there is no reason why you can't jump on and volunteer. And if you're, what I'd like to do is if you're interested in running for a position, if you have questions about what the responsibilities are or anything like that, by all means, let me know. I'm happy to go over it with you and explain to you what it is. I'm happy to continue as prefect. I just don't think I can do prefect, president, and everything else. So I can continue to do that for now if we need. But if you're interested in one of the officer positions, by all means, let me know. I'm happy to go over it with you. If you're interested in running, let's get your name out there. We'll be posting them as soon as everybody that's nominated or wants to be up for election has come forward so that you know who they are, and hopefully we'll do the elections inside, preferably at the next meeting. And then we'll officially turn it over at the Christmas party. I think that's all I have. Does anybody else here have anything? Michelle? Anybody else?
Fire restrictions.
Yeah, I'll check them again tomorrow. They were in place when I but it's interesting. We're getting counterintuitive information. Ben has a different one that says it was rescinded. So we're going to look at that tomorrow and see.
Yeah, that's the one that kind of faked me out too.
Yeah. I'm not sure. We'll double check, and if we have to, we'll call them and confirm one way or the other. I cannot believe that the fire restrictions are still in place at this point. If they are, I'll be surprised. So
So they're forecasting rain for Friday.
Perfect. Even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it should kill the fire restrictions. Yeah.
It should. We'll see. I mean, it's been a really tough year this year for us with that.
Super dry.
Yep.
Looks like it's going to be 38 is the low or something crazy like that. So if you're bringing a camper, it might also be worth thinking about not freezing your pipes.
It's going to be pretty chilly out there.
Yeah.
Oh, really? It's going to be that cold out there?
There's a cold front coming through Friday.
Wow. Yeah, it's supposed to drop like 20 degrees next day or two, isn't it?
30.
Yeah.
30.
30,
Wow.
yeah.
And despite what the weather says, Frank Hunt is always a lot colder.
Agreed.
It's in that valley.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else have any questions? Show and tells, anything?
I don't think you
Just-
can see mine.
Go ahead. Okay. I'm going to try to put these pictures up. We'll see how that goes.
Sorry, Neil, just one more thing.
Yeah, sure.
So I just wanted to let people know too, like just to jump on your leadership thing. I know there's a lot of trepidation. I had it a little while ago when I jumped in, and I've been in there a couple years now, and it's not that bad, and there's a lot of support for you. So if it's something that's intimidating to you, um, don't don't stress. There's lots of people that are willing to help and support. For me, it was intimidating because of, I'm relatively new to high power rocketry, but don't let that stop you. We've got a lot of support and help there. I'm a little bit challenged personally as well, for this next election cycle. So I'm not entirely sure that I'll be available either. So hopefully we'll get some volunteers to raise their hands.
Thank you, Ben. That's great. And I should mention too, I'm not going away. I'll be here. I will help and then offer my little bit of knowledge to anybody that needs it. I just can't make the commitment on a regular basis right now. But aside from that, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. I'm gonna try. Let me see if I can get these pictures up. Hang on. I don't know how to. We'll try this. Bear with me for a sec. Yeah, I think this will work. You guys seen that picture?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to start them playing and we'll just let them play. I think I can hear everybody. So if you have questions or anything, just holler out. And again, these are all from You're Nuts. There's my play button.
Some Aussies in that screen right there.
That's right. This was it was Thursday night. It was absolutely beautiful that night. This is the Q project as I was RSOing it. Very well designed. This is the 8th year they've worked on this project in some iteration or another. This is just one of the top sections of it. Used 2 Kates and 2 blue Ravens. Thank you. There's the booster section. Look at those nice fins. Some weird guy there. I don't know who that is. And then the wind started picking up. This is Friday. These are all not necessarily in order. So as you can see, the wind's picking up. This is what we were in all day Friday from about 10 o'clock till, what was it, 6 o'clock that night? Literally, it was the whole day. 40-mile-an-hour winds. It kind of sucked.
What's the max we can launch it?
20.
So nobody's launching.
Oh no, you couldn't see either, really. There's Ben emerging from the void.
Gotta unplug a battery.
There was pretty much no wind out of balls.
Yeah, it was just this one day. And so at our 10, as you can see what it was doing. But, 40-mile-an-hour winds. This is one of the New Mexico guys. I love their window they did on there.
Should have been a few tarps flying away.
What's that?
Should have been a few tarps flying around.
Everybody was pretty buttoned down. We all knew it was coming. Jen and I both decided that we looked a lot more official if we carried around a cup of coffee with us as we were walking the range. This is the space shot. So this was supposed to go to 350,000 feet, 344,000 feet, excuse me. And it would have if it lit. All right, the rain Okay, this is the Q launch. It's pretty good here. Q.
Nebraska?
No, this is New Mexico.
Okay.
Brett Bachman.
Okay.
Sure you're on your feet for this. Go here in just a sec, hopefully. Yeah, we're gonna do it then, yeah. Count me 10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
In Cedar, I saw a Q 5500 case motor in their museum.
Yeah.
I think it was a 98, about 6 foot tall.
They say Mach 5? Yeah, Mach 5.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, you know, the tip on that is titanium on the nose. And it is on Brett's too. The guys in Australia, when this level 3 committee was reviewing it, they gave me crap about that tip because it wasn't frangible. And Mach 5.
Or plastic.
Or plastic.
We know about that.
But Brett Bachman said they didn't have any questions about him doing it. So I don't know. That was kind of interesting. I'm going to skip past this one. It's just basically the Kates talking as they go up to 120,000. Jason doing his RSO duties. There's Dave Spencer and John Borget's camp. There's Mr. Marty. That's where those two were the entire weekend.
Like nothing.
So that booster, somebody came to our camp Sunday morning, right? That booster for the guys from Ohio. And it was what, 5 miles?
Like 8.
8 miles away. And they came and told us, and Ryan went and picked it up, and the guys were so happy about it. That is the Q motor going up.
That's the
Oh, was it? Oh yeah, you're right. Really good guys. They're all, I mean, for as young as they all are, they're very focused, very mature, did a good job. That's the Q being set up right there. That's the space shot there. And Matt, is that yours?
Mine.
Great shots, by the way.
Thank you.
So that worked perfectly, but the sustainer did not ignite. Everything came down okay. They'll be able to fly it again.
Never did understand what they were doing with that.
What's that?
I never did understand what they were doing with that.
That was the problem. That was too esoteric, I think.
It was stuck in it.
This is a team from Ohio. That was their trailer. Anyway, and there's a logo for this year. That's it. And let me get back here.
Does most everybody camp out there when they go for your nuts?
Yes. It's I think everybody did this year. I mean,
Dave stayed at the hotel.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's right, he did, didn't he?
Some of the New Mexico guys.
So you can drive into Gerlach. It's, what would you say, 30 minutes, 35? Yeah. But honestly, the weather was about perfect out there, except for the wind. Yeah, it was really fine. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, they might, Matt. It was a very interesting design they were using to ignite it, and it did fire and it worked. It just wasn't enough to fire that motor, I think. But like I say, at least all their electronics worked, and they got both pieces back, and That's the bigger part of the whole thing anyway.
I'm considering getting into copper thermite after my whole fiasco. I never want to have that happen again. I felt
Just-
so bad.
Just be super careful with it.
Oh
That's
yeah.
That stuff's a little sensitive.
Neil, I have dropped in to say hi. I can clarify our
hey.
our ignition problems.
Oh, who's on?
Hi. Oliver's on.
Oh,
It's-
hey, Oliver, how you doing?
Good. How's everyone?
Good. Welcome.
So basically the design of the system was a bunch of BKN03 painted into the top grain.
Yeah.
So it was about just over 1,000 psi worth of BKN03. And then it was a HEI bolt with a like firewire E-match that had been tampered with a lot, and then dipped in BKN03. And the design was basically, it was a very small bolt hole, so we could only put a little bit of pyrogen on the E-match, and then hopefully the idea was that would be enough to light the much higher quantity of pyrogen on the grain. And we static fired that and tested it, and it worked. Obviously, it didn't work in flight. We think the pressure at altitude may have resulted in less sparking. The BKN03 would have generated the correct pressure, but less like visible flame, essentially. And it would also have been much more encouraged for what sparks and flame was there to flow down the core towards the nozzle, as it's like you're still in boost getting higher, you're still dumping pressure, like it's still continually trying to equalize. So we need to borescope the motor and check what has burned. I would be amazed if the BKN03 that we painted lit, otherwise the motor should have lit.
Yeah.
But in the future, we will come with all of our necessary pyrogen on the igniter setup as part of the HEI bolt. We'll make a much bigger bolt hole, it'll be like an M16 bolt or something, as opposed to the M8 we were running this time. Sit a little lower in the core, and we'll still paint some on, but that's sort of just to speed it up. I'm still staying away from thermite. Too static scaries for me.
Yeah, that's.
Have you considered putting a cap on the back of your motor?
We have.
And keep the air inside on the way up?
Yeah, so we have considered that. We're still looking at it. When dealing with pressure insensitive pyrogens, the 14 psi of ambient pressure is not critically important. Like if you're running thermite, you seem to need that ambient pressure to get any heat flux. But because BKN03 generates its own pressure, it's the 1 atmosphere is a fraction of the pressure that even a bad burn will generate. So it's not as critical as far as we are aware. Not having that flow would be nice. The main thing is, like, as I understand it, burst discs are, and I'm no expert here, but correct me if I'm wrong, normally used so you can undersize the amount of pyrogen, and where if the burst discs burst early, you won't get up to pressure. Basically, you can just add pyrogen in order to not have to use a burst disc if you're using a pressure insensitive pyrogen, I think. But yeah, we are still looking at something. Obviously, it would require us firing another motor, probably, depending on what we do. We were joking this afternoon about putting a piece of duct tape on the inside of the nozzle over the insert bit before we assemble it, because the duct tape will totally take 14 psi and it will totally get rid of itself at anything higher. So that was just a fun thought. But yeah, we're still working on it. We need to do a bit more work and talk to a few more people.
Oliver, are you coming back next year?
Probably. We might try and fly again sooner. But we will almost certainly be back next year with something. it's I much prefer it to bowls. So, and it's a cool place to come out and a cool group of people.
Right on.
Yeah, you hear that, everybody? We're cool.
Right.
Just wondering if they ever decided to just use aluminum instead of the aluminium, because that might have been the problem.
Right.
Extra weight. Can't even say that. Carrying that extra letter around.
Thanks for getting on, Oliver. It's good to hear from you. All right. Well, thanks, you guys. Does anybody else have any other questions or observations or? Okay.
I want to echo Oliver's comments. It was a great launch, great group of people. It was a lot of fun.
It was good. It was much more fun than I thought it would be.
That's because I can't.
Well, there's that. Yeah. You kept Michelle entertained, so that was good.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Thank you all very much for getting on. Looks like we had a pretty good meeting after all. Lots of people on. We're going to get our flashlights out and see if we can make it back to our cars now. And we should be back in the building next month. So this worked out okay. The weather was good and it was kind of fun to have a change of pace. So thanks, everybody. Have a good night. And hopefully we'll see you this weekend. We'll keep you posted on the website.
Thanks, Neil.
See you guys.
See ya.
Those of you that watch me bring